Hey guys, Kristina Nikols for IdeateTV with Sadie of Cassava Flour. Now she is the founder and she's going to tell us all about the product.
So Otto's cassava flour is made from 100% Yuca root. It's otherwise known as cassava. It just depends on what country you're standing in. You can see it right there on the table. I'll grab one. You might have seen this in your grocery store. It's a tuberous root vegetable, so there's no grains at all. A lot of gluten-free products are made from gluten-free grains, and this is completely different. It's made from a vegetable. So it really works well for anybody that has grain intolerances, that, beyond gluten-free is kind of how we refer to it. And it doesn't have like a strange aftertaste or that kind of traditional dryness that a lot of gluten-free products tend to have. It's quite glutinous in nature, like in its behavior. So it makes really pliable tortillas, which we're sampling today. It makes cookies, it makes moist chocolate cake that tastes like it's supposed to, without the xanthan gum and guar gums and other things that traditionally you need to add to get gluten-free grains to stick together.
Yeah, I did try the tortillas that we're making today, and I got a chance to make some too. It was really fun and really easy, and I think a great way for family to make food together. Like, it's a quick little item. And I did notice that it was different from the other tortillas, the gluten-free tortillas that I've tried, in terms of it didn't have that dryness or that powdery aftertaste. So definitely a fan.
Thank you.
And what inspired you to start this company?
Honestly, I was pregnant with my first and only child, Otto. That's who the company is named after. I was on bed rest and having tremendous cravings, but I couldn't do the coconut flours. We're a grain-free family, not just a gluten-free family. And I just couldn't make what I needed to make to satisfy those cravings that I was having. It just wasn't doing it for me. So I searched for something that could substitute one-to-one for all-purpose flour without all of the digestive discomfort that I personally get from xanthan gums and guar gums and other grains.
So for our viewers who are unfamiliar, can you tell us a little bit more about the difference between being gluten-free and grain-free and why people would decide to go grain-free?
Absolutely. So gluten-free is kind of a first step that a lot of people take. A gluten-free diet allows grains that don't have gluten in them. And so a lot of people feel tremendously better just taking that first step. But then they find many that they still are having digestive issues, and so find that actually going completely grain-free, taking that next step, actually reduces inflammation further and really keeps that kind of healing path going for them. And so that's what the paleo diet is. You might have heard that. It's kind of a buzzword these days. And so that's the difference, is gluten-free versus paleo would be no grains versus gluten-free grains being allowed. So corn and rice would not be something that we personally tolerate in our family. So cassava flour steps in and fills that hole for us.
And do you happen to know the details of what's in cassava flour? I mean, I don't know if our viewers want those type of details, but in terms of the benefits that you receive from it?
So it's high in fiber, maybe a little bit more than a wheat flour would be. So you're going to see it absorb a little bit more moisture. But the real benefit comes from it just not being a grain. So you're not having the inflammatory response that grains tend.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us today. Kristina Nikols for IdeateTV.